Well, yes, very important news and definitely something that would be stock moving come tomorrow. CARE and ICRA should see some movement. SEBI has essentially come out with a norm for enhanced disclosure by these rating agencies. First up, they're going to give the average one-year rating transition versus 5 years. These are just a part of the norms that have been issued. Let me go across to my colleague Vijay Iyer then for this big breaking. Vijay, over to you.
Absolutely, Mubina. Finally, on the expected lines, SEBI has come out with this new circular for credit rating agencies. The whole objective somewhere of this 5-page circular put out is to ensure that there's a lot of enhancement when it comes to ratings that the agencies put out, but also on the timeline or the bare minimum timeline that would be prescribed so that the information is available on real-time basis. If quickly I could go through the circular, some of the important aspects include, clearly they say that when a rating factors in support of a parent group with an expectation of infusion of funds towards timely debt servicing, the name of such entities along with rationale of such expectation should be provided. Clearly, the best case would be if we could compare this with Island Affairs, where clearly timely things were not put out and clearly the defaults which happened at various group entities got reflected in the parent and thereby the papers issued by the parent got hammered. So in this particular scenario, clearly they want all such minutest of details of who is going to serve the debt of say subsidiary, how much amount would be served by which a particular entity in the group company. All the details have to be provided. Then it also says that when subsidiary group companies are consolidated to arrive at a rating, list of such companies along with the extent and rationale of consolidation needs to be given. Once again, the intra-group transactions and how consolidation, if at all it happens, the whole of the details have to be given. So somewhere clearly the whole purpose has to ensure that there is a lot of transparency that is brought in when it comes to reporting of intra-group company transactions between parent and subsidiaries, which was not the case, and that is where clearly highlighting the best example once again being Island Affairs, where we all know how the whole of markets reacted in the last couple of months. Market regulator SEBI has come out with this new circular to ensure timely information, and not only timely information but also minutest of information. Come out with this new circular to ensure timely information, and not only timely information but also minutest of information within the group companies are taken into consideration by rating agencies when they give the rating, and rating agencies clearly will have to be made more accountable. That is the whole purpose of this new circular that is put out by market regulator SEBI. I believe we also have with us Mr. Arun Kumar joining us. Mr. Arun Kumar, thanks for joining us in this hour of this breaking news. New circular from market regulator SEBI for credit rating agencies. Your first reaction?
It's actually it brings out, as a rating agency, rating agency takes a lot of assumptions while carrying out rating, and it has been internal to it. Now it is becoming more transparent, and it gives the responsibility to everyone, including the rating agency and the company, because it's now in the public domain as to what are the assumptions made by the agency. So it gives an additional responsibility on everyone to see whether those targets or those milestones are met, and even as an investor or a user of the ratings, you'll also know what is the sensitivity of the rating in a much clearer fashion.
Mr. Kumar, if I could take you on the two important aspects, particularly on the review of rating criteria which have been mentioned in the new circular. It clearly says that while reviewing material events, the credit rating agencies may treat sharp deviations in bond spreads of debt instruments vis-a-vis relevant benchmark yield as a material event. Important one, particularly looking at the examples in the last 2 to 3 months, what we have witnessed.
Yeah, it is. But if you we have had a circular last year on 30th June, if I remember right, which had listed out a lot suggested list of material events which can trigger internal review. So that included even bond prices. There's a sharp fall in bond prices, along with other things like share prices. So bond prices is already there, but here it's now a more focused look at bond spreads, because prices might go up because of some other reasons, even the basic GSEC price going up. So if the yields dropping and prices going up, if the bond spread is what will actually be determined by the rating. So because the rating is supposed to measure the probability of default, and the spread is what matters. And this is a important move to show if there's any of these any bond spread is more than the accepted level of spread for the particular rating level.
Mr. Arun Kumar, if I could ask you, looking at this new circular vis-a-vis the circular which was already there, of course this would be the new one which SEBI has put in, is the whole objective somewhere try and give specific definitions on how the rating agencies should approach when they come out with their ratings, thereby not only making rating agencies more accountable, but at the same time ensure the information metrics is passed on a real-time basis to the markets at large?
Yes, you are right. In terms of disclosures, it improves the quality of disclosure so that everyone can take a call. The investor can see what is happening actually, and rating agency can also, it already does a monitoring of these aspects, but it was more internal and it was more within the company. Now it is like for everyone to look at it and take a view. So it has become a lot more transparent to look at the assumptions the rating agency has. So it fixes a lot of accountability and responsibility on all parties.
Quickly, I could ask you before we could let you go. There's another aspect which clearly says that we're carrying on monitoring of repayment schedules. The rating agencies have analyzed the deterioration in the liquidity conditions on the issuer and also take into account any asset liability mismatch. Clearly, if we could look at this new point in the circular and what happened in Island affairs, perhaps in the future such kind of situations can be prevented.
It's a question of putting those things. I'm sure all the agencies do monitor these liquidity events and ALMs within the company. But the disclosures here will go a long way in improving the quality of call a person can take. All participants can take, including the investor, including the company itself. So that an informed decision can be taken in terms of what is the rating, what is the likely movement of the rating.
Arun Kumar, once again, thanks a lot for sparing your time in this hour of breaking. So, Pankaj and Mubina, clearly new credit rating agency circular put out by market regulator SEBI, and the hope is that the stringent disclosures will not only make them accountable, but markets at large will get information on a real-time basis.
Right, so that of course is the big breaking news, and you've got the best voice from CARE Rating, who directly understands the business and this entire issue. Let's also look at the flashes, Mubina, at the bottom of your screen, which is about Ashok Leyland, and this is not